Welcome in, everybody. How are we doing? Appreciate you guys being here on time. Gonna get 1 or 2 more minutes. We're gonna dive in because we got lots to talk about. George PLTR. Yep, I'll get that one wrote down. Fitness, good to have you in here, man. AMD. Man, AMD broke that damn trend line. I wanted it to hold, but we'll see if we can find a setup for it. I haven't checked it just because I wanted to kind of see if anybody else requested it, but yeah, that trend line broke down the daily. So, but we'll chart it out. We'll get a game plan for you for sure, or at least my perspective, what I would do on it. But small group tonight so far. Maybe one more premium tag, and we'll dive in, guys. But like I said, appreciate you guys that are here, that you're on time. Alrighty, guys. Welcome to another Sunday, another week. We are here. Close my window real quick. Need the neighbors listening in on our secrets. Just kidding. All right, guys. I'm gonna start the chart and the lecture. Excuse me. Start the lecture with kind of how we did last week. Just showing the same thing kind of last week, and this is the equal weighted S&P 500. So as you can see, still a lot of drop in the markets. Not huge, but from all-time highs here. This is showing, every participant in the S&P 500 split equally in the ETF, so everyone gets the same percent. So it's not weighted, differently like the S&P is, or SPY is, excuse me. So this just kind of shows, like Tilio's been talking about for several weeks when he talks about breadth and stuff in the market. This is it right in front of ours, you guys. This is, not a lot of people participating in this rally other than, big tech, our top 10 or our mag 7, whatever you want to call them, here in the top left screen. And so this is just something to keep watching, you guys. And so, right now it's just kind of led by big tech. XLF is having a little bit of a tricky time. Bank sector, there's some strong names in there. XLE is really getting whacked. But this is just something to watch, you guys. So this is the RSP on the daily. If you guys ever want to take notes or watch on your own. But 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, we were back here looking last Sunday, and we came down even more. Okay, so now I want to go to the SPY daily just to kind of dive into our lecture to look a little bit different. So we are, as of now, we are topped out. And, I guess a little bit of a, learning, or I guess hopefully you guys pay attention to some of the stuff in my tab. But I point out a lot of times, and I drop some hints, and I say, the trade plan for the day, and that 607 up here, we can see this is the daily chart again. 607 on the chart is our top until now. We can go over that. We can get over that, obviously, for sure. But I post these on my watch list every single day. 607 decides the day for the bulls. Okay, and so keep an eye on that. Keep an eye on some notes, in my tab that I post every morning, because there's a lot of people I can see trying to get bullish up here, and at 607 an entry is just not the spot to do that. This line right here in the shaded area. So do we all see? I'm on the 1 hour chart right now. I'm going to zoom out just a little bit. We can see the price action from the last 2 weeks. Okay, guys, we see when we get over 607 what happens, but we get under, we see that selling pressure. Okay, you guys. So definitely, if you guys are new to charting or haven't, just maybe starting out, 607 is like the easiest one-line chart that you can absolutely do on SPY right now, because we can see we get under that big sell down we get. Okay, and again, this is kind of, to do a quick compare, it's like we had this big sell down, but we look at Qs. Qs didn't fall that much. Yes, they fell, but it's like Qs have been holding this week, or last week, excuse me. So this is just a tech-based run, basically. the last couple weeks, that's making up the S&P 500. So again, back to the SPY chart. One expire. Yeah, all right. So yeah, this is our 1 hour chart, you guys. And for me, I like where we're at. We do have the Fed meeting this week, the FOMC meeting. I believe it's probably like on a Wednesday. I'm not for sure. I need to check that. But of course, we can see, what I'm looking at or what I think will happen. I want to see a test down here in the 600 flat. I just think it's an easy round number. It makes sense on the chart. Obviously, the market doesn't care what I think, but to me, if we slowly start stair-stepping down, trickling down, it's going to meet this daily 200 here, this dashed green line, and it lines up this big support pocket here. Okay, so you can see I already have a level triggered, excuse me. So the 601 to 600 zone, when it triggers and fires off, it's like a duh moment, like, hey, check that. Why did it go off there? Obviously, this is me pre-planning what we're going to do. And obviously on the flip side, I could probably, just for the bullish case as well, put an alert at the top zone. But for now, obviously we can mark some levels in between here, but I really like, the 607, that's our top. It's our top until it's not. And I really want to see a back test down here. Ideally, we trade down into it and not like a hard sell, a slam into it with, the Fed meeting or Fed comments ideally, but hopefully Monday, Tuesday, we can get into here and trade around this zone here. But if not, definitely we can grab some levels here at these zones. There's definitely some levels in here to play off of. I was looking left over here and it lines up right here, right here, and right here. And so 604.24, also a big level as well. But does anybody have any questions on SPY? Any questions all or relative to RSP? I like pullbacks, like I say every week. I think it lines up. It makes it easier to trade when we get these pullbacks. First class joined yesterday, very, very beginner. Can anyone help? Yeah, just glad to have you in here. We have lectures Sunday, Tuesday, Thursday. Anybody with a yellow or green name, those are support staff members. Just tag us in the chat. We're here to help you, definitely. What do you think about NVIDIA? I will definitely check that. George, 602.87. Yeah, I like that as well. It's going to grab those wicks there a little bit. And it's hard to get exact levels that everyone's going to agree on, you guys. I like that spot there. Definitely. Nice little pocket there to trade into. All right, guys, with that, move on to QQQ because we always run long. Another week, another all-time high, as we always say. So QQQ, guys, again, when we make new all-time highs, like I always say, just ride this trend like this, these EMAs, these moving averages, whatever you guys use, VWAP. We literally just have to ride the trend up or use some fib extensions because it's tough on us. When we push up here, you say, well, where do you want to go? Well, okay, a round number is the easy answer, but after that, we don't know where it's going to go because we've never been there. And so that's why I always like the retest on these levels here. It just makes it easy because when we come into a recent zone here, we definitely, it makes it easier to trade off of. And so for me, let me get this zone here marked. But any retest, this 527, 527.78 pocket, I like this. And again, you guys, for the new people as well, I go to the larger time frames, 1 hour, 4 hour, sometimes 30-minute, and I'm looking for candle body closes like this big cluster here. And when they close, I look left and I say, okay, is there other hourly candles closing around that area that makes sense for support resistance? So all these are closing right here. And the previous day, we got some candle closes right there. We got some wicks right there. Candle body closes kind of close there and a little bit right there. And so that's why I like that zone there. But for me, if we open where we closed, so pretty much this spot here, this is regular hours, what I'm saying. If we open here, 530.58, okay? It also lines up with that wick there, so that's definitely something to watch, you guys. So any pushes or opens, get some drawings here for you guys. Bounces off that, calls with caution, again, because we've only been up here for 1 day, 2, 3 days, okay? There's not a lot of volume up here, okay? Or any sells below, you use that as resistance, and that is your entry for some puts. So if we open under it, If you miss that push up, you can take calls into that. But to me, I'm not taking a call entry there. I'm watching for rejections and short that because we short at resistance. We don't buy puts at support. Okay. We buy calls at support. We sell our puts at support. Okay. So let's see where we open up. Any opens around there is option number one, or for me, kind of any opens under that 530-ish level there. Okay, so kind of this, it'll be below this candle body close here, but below that would make sense for me because this little pocket here we'd be opening under. And so for me, that's my confirmation. We open under it, we reject it, take some puts, or open at it, take some calls. And so kind of interesting, we'll see where we're at. And just I hope we don't gap up because it makes it tricky to trade on QQQ when it's at all-time highs. Okay. Any questions on QQQ, you guys? Okay. Let's see if I'm missing a trend line. There might be even just a little baby trend line here, and just quickly see if we get any touches there. Usually like more than 2 touches, but kind of got this zone here, almost there, and a touch there. So anything like that, you guys. But like I said, when stuff's at all-time highs, I just look elsewhere. You know, you don't have to trade. I mean, obviously, if that's what you're used to, you can trade QQQ every day. But you don't absolutely have to do that. Like if the price action is not making sense to you, start scanning your charts and look at other places, okay? And with that said, you guys, I'm going to go the order that I've seen them. Norvin DM'd me. Affirm. We're going to check this chart for him. Let me see. Long trade. All right, cool. Let's zoom out a little bit, see where we're at on the daily, because I know it's been making a hell of a run. Like a lot of things, some are all-time highs, some are not, but we got some stuff to work with, which is good. Exactly what I like to see here. So give me a second, guys. I'm just looking at the chart here. I'm on the weekly. I always start the weekly when it's something I don't chart. And right now I'm looking again for candle body closes and closes on the wicks. So we got 2 candle body, either a wick or a close there, and it lines up with this price action, that wick here from 2 years ago. Okay, almost 3 years ago now. So that's why I grabbed that one right away. I'm gonna grab another one above and below, just get us some levels to work with. And I want to see why that rejected there, why that makes sense there. Okay, I'm gonna go to the 1 hour chart now, you guys, and we'll see how these 3 lines still make sense, and that is how you build a trading plan. You always start out on larger time frame, and then you kind of take it from there. And so for me, we're in a bit of a box consolidation range here. It's $4 or $5 range, but it's a very nice range to play off of. So if you're a swing trader, you want to grab the bottom, or if you grab this middle zone, grab a half position and you take calls, and you can take them up into this zone here. If you're a day trader, you just trade this range over and over and over. It's okay. So we are options traders. We can buy calls and puts. So we can take, obviously it's in hindsight, we can take calls at the bottom of the range, we sell. We can take puts to the top, sell. We can take puts, sell underneath the range, puts again, calls down here, probably got stopped out, calls, push. You guys get the point. So we, when you buy shares, you're only really making money when you go up, unless you're selling calls on it or something like that. But we want to see a range break either way. Norman said he would be bullish on it. So for me, you can take, it's a safe entry here. If you can catch some calls into this zone here, it's safe because we have this form of support here. We get our daily 9 is now cut up, so that's going to stack underneath it. And we got the daily 20 that's going to creep up slower. Okay, so we can look for a push and a breakout. If you get calls here, absolutely. If I'm catching a $2 move on some calls, I don't care if they're January calls, I'm definitely selling at these zones here when we hit this zone. Okay, I say it every single week. There's no way I'm going to bottom take some calls here. Ride this up, knowing that this rejects 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 days. There's no way I'm going to take calls into that and just watch it possibly potentially reject again. That's horrible trading. Okay, take calls on support, sell them at resistance. If you're in 5, sell all of them but 1. You catch a breakout, ride the trend. Okay, I don't want to hit it now. I don't want to get too distracted. But I was in some KO. I think I was in some late January calls, and I got a 25 to 27% move overnight. I took them in the afternoon. sold down a little bit in the morning, popped back up. I think if I remember correctly on the chart on KO, and I sold most of them at 25 to 27%, even though it was January, because I sold where the level told me. There's a big level on KO, and it said sell at that spot on the chart, and so I did. And I'm glad I did, because KO took a pretty nasty dip on Friday and didn't recover, and so I would have been at break even or a loss. And so swing trader, just because you got time, you guys, you trade what the chart tells you. If you take calls down here and it consolidates for 8 to 10 days and you finally get the breakout up to this zone here, sell them, okay, and ride one. But don't just watch you go, plus 5%, red 15, plus 5%, red 15, and then finally get 25%, and you go, no, I'm just going to hold for this breakout because I'm greedy. Okay, that's not good trading, you guys. PLTR. Anybody remember this from last week? Anybody? Because this is our chart from last week. Remember that sell? Anything under 75? Did anybody catch this from last week? Friday, Thursday, Wednesday. Yeah, we were up here. Someone asked about PLTR, and I said, a back test the consolidation zone. Any sells under 75, I'm short. You may miss this kill candle, but look at the next day, you guys, Tuesday. Look at push up, reject, boom, puts. Push up, reject, boom, puts. Friday, early price action, reject again. And now Friday, push over, okay? So sold through support, and support is now resistance, 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 back over. Now what is it, you guys? It is support, okay? So this zone here, I'm gonna clean up and move it. Does that make sense, everybody? When you're under it, it is resistance. When you're over, it's support. So now any bounces and retests, you guys, into 75 or 76, that's where you buy calls. I think this was George requesting this one. Good request, good chart. So this all-time high zone up here, okay? Excuse me. So now this is a really, really good bullish setup, okay? Assuming, or hopefully, we can get some sideways price action and some dips into this zone here, okay? Any dips in here or here are playable on calls, okay? So again, you don't chase the top here. You don't watch this move and go, okay, I want calls now. No, you buy calls at support, because if you break under, your risk is very small, and you can get bearish on the day or for swings, whatever it is you trade, when you break a zone, okay? So PLTR, I'm probably going to send alert, actually, because I like this chart. So I'm going to send alert here at 76. We'll see what happens tomorrow or this week. Wait for it to trigger. But any dips and holds into this, that is reason to be bullish, because we have two moving averages that are creeping up here. The 9 is going to creep up faster than your 20. But again, any sells back under 75, and I'm looking for this price action here. Okay, I'm looking to be bearish again, or bullish, push up, get your double top, all-time high, and you get the hell out. Okay, do not watch this move play out and you're fearful and you don't take calls, and we push up, push up, come next day, push up. Okay, now I want calls at all-time high. That's crazy. You're buying somebody's sells because somebody bought in here or down here at support and watched the whole move up, and they're 85% gains, and now you want to take calls up here. Okay, get these levels down here, set some alerts, you guys. Very nice chart, George. Fitness and futures, AMD. Oh man, this one breaks my heart. Let's go to the daily, guys, because I know we've been talking about this chart. Pay attention to this shaded line, this trend line. When I go to the daily, here we go. And we broke it. I hate that, because I wanted to be bullish on this name. I know we've talked about, so for several weeks in this class, I wanted a hold and a bounce and a curl up, and I wanted these moving averages to curl under, and I would be bullish on it for a swing. I really did. But we need a new game plan now, because we broke some big levels here. So I haven't checked the chart in a while, other than when the alerts fired off. So let's zoom out, kind of just see where we're at, you guys, see if we can build a game plan on it. Let me get into my drawing mode, and we'll kind of take it from there. Let's grab this wick here, see if it looks or makes sense. I'm gonna look here on the right and on the left. Definitely bounce that pocket there. I want to grab this little cluster here of candles. Again, I'm on the daily. Definitely a big spot there. Okay. Let's get this one here. I have to zoom into the 1 hour chart to build a game plan. And one last one down here. Okay. Yep. So let's get, I'm gonna zoom in so we can figure out where we're at. So thick line, last chance support. Thick line, most recent resistance. Okay, everybody got a game plan on the daily. I'm gonna zoom in now so we can get some price action, what to do there. Okay, remember thick lines, let's pay attention to that. So again, we sold down through big support. We sold down through this support, and what did it do? Resistance, didn't quite make it there. Thursday, failed breakout twice or 3 times on these hourly candles. Okay, Friday, what did it do? Opened over. Guess what? Sellers full control. Friday, we got that kill candle that sold through on the hourly, so don't really love that. But any pushes for me, if you missed that push or we kind of open here pre-market, I would just kind of wait for a breakout in a bounce. Like I always like to trade how I trade that. If you guys pay attention to my alerts, I don't know if anybody does. Break and retest or break down retest, but AMD, I like where it's at. Let me get out of drawing mode really quick. It's probably gonna mess up my drawings, but I can make it work there. I can cheat and do that. There we go. Magic. So any breakouts over and holds, definitely. If we catch a bullish day, absolutely. You take calls and you'd be selling your calls into there. Okay. If you're in several, fine. Sell them all, leave a runner. Maybe we get a breakout, maybe not. Okay. But we've seen, you guys, the most important levels to mark are the recent price action. Okay. And we have all this price action here from last week. Okay. There's no way I'm watching move here and not selling calls into that. Okay. Get some rejections, double tops. With caution, take puts there. Because if we break out, your risk is low and your reward potentially is big. Low risk, high reward on puts. On the opposite side, any break over, you flip the chart. Low risk, you don't hold calls all the way down here because one case says, oh, that's a support. No, we break below this, you set a small stop, small percent stop. Because the reward if we break over is big on this, okay? So it's in a tricky spot. Any opens around here, but again, if we start opening down here and trickling down, it's okay, double top zone, boom, boom, try your calls, or be patient, let these moving averages catch up, and maybe we just trickle down here, and you absolutely take your shot at calls down here at 122.62. Yep, curious if you would take a stab along there time, 122 level falls into there. Yep, definitely. Little late in the chat, sorry about that. But yeah, it's a little bit of a tricky spot, but like I said, anything can happen. We can open here or we can open over this and just, a bullish push all day. It's like, okay, we're gonna forget about this price action. And it's like, boom, get bullish, or gap up halfway, push, and we just run. Okay, now recent resistance, now it's support. You absolutely treat 131.43 as support. Okay, so again, I don't like that big level up here that broke down, but going back to the daily really quick, if you want to be a share buyer or a long-term swing, this is your spot. Okay, like it's a psychological thing, you guys. People say, okay, chart's going down. Why do I want to buy shares? Okay, well, do you want to look at a chart from here from November last year and watch 128% move and go, okay, the chart's going up. Okay, let me get some calls or let me get some shares up here. Okay, you didn't like them at 100, but now you want them at 220, 210. Like that's crazy. And so, like, look at this chart, you guys. We're coming back into some big support here. So if you believe in the chart and you believe in the company, you absolutely can start dollar costing some share buys down here, 120 to 122. Okay. So yeah, it's getting whacked, but I mean, I zoom out, look at that thick chart there. Look at that 122. Very big zone there. Okay. Let's see. Norvin, yeah, see your question. Somebody else wanted SON as well. Let me make sure I didn't miss anything in the chat. Lando, MAMA, bullish on it. They have earnings call Monday. News looking positive. All right, well, oops, MAMA. Mama's Creations. What the heck do they sell? Do they like knit some quilts or what do they do? Not making fun, just never heard of it. Are we all-time highs? Probably, yep. Correct me if I'm wrong, but looks like we are. Okay, so we got earnings. I'm not gonna say ignore earnings, but earnings, without having earnings, let's pay attention. Let's just build a plan for you on the chart. I definitely see some things we bullish on for sure. Trend line. Why does this trend line matter? One touch, another day there, another day there, another day there. Don't quite got to pin it going, but we definitely know what our ceiling is. We know what our top resistance zone is. Very easy, guys. Not like I'm being cocky, but don't make charting hard. Go to larger time frames, zoom out, look at the chart, however long it takes, and go, okay, where are the candles pushing and where are they rejecting? And you draw a line. Okay, 993, or we can call it 10. It's not really hitting 10, but 993, this little pocket here, is our top zone. Okay, doesn't matter how bad you want to break out to happen. It's been rejecting since November 29th. Okay, so almost a full month. So a lot of consolidation happening here. Like I said, I know earnings are coming up, or you mentioned earnings are coming up, but any break and holds of 10, absolutely. Get a continuation, hopefully continuation move on that. But any rejections or bad earnings sentiment or any sell through this trend line through your EMAs, for me, I know you said you want to be bullish. Either get some breakouts here, or you catch some calls into the zone here, or you wait for like a nice dip back in this zone here, back in this 8 or 9 zone here. But tricky spot earnings. We just got to let it play out. All right. SOUN, Gator wanted this as well. I don't know if they're in here, but coming off a 23% day, you guys already know what I'm going to say. I'm not going to chase calls on a 23% move. Okay, it's not how I trade. Like, that's a big ass move for it. But what we can do, we can get a breakout retest. There's a couple things I see already. We had a trend line breakout, most likely. Yep. Okay. One touch, two touch, candle body close there, breakout. Beautiful. Probably got a trend line down here. We can build a plan off that as well. Okay, so there are ways to trade around this. If you miss the big move, you do not FOMO. You set alerts and you wait for it to come back. Any back tests, you guys, of this zone here, and I'm grabbing this zone again, all those candle body closes right there. Okay, resistance, 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 boom, breakout. Resistance is now support. Okay, so a back test to that would have to give out a good chunk of gains, but that's the name of the game. You either chase calls up here, and if you're wrong, you're hurt and you're in a lot of pain, or you wait for a break, you wait for a retest, and you take calls at support. We can also argue there's probably a nice spot here for some calls. 1568-ish. It's that wick there, those wicks there, and those candle body closes there. So big move, but not something I want to chase based on that Friday move. I want to see some back tests into this zone here. But who knows? Maybe it can go more. I don't know. But like I said, a 24% move in a day is huge. Huge. Check in the chat. Caprice, Microsoft, absolutely, because I want to point some stuff out of Microsoft. Let me zoom out. I want to figure out or remind myself why I had this wrote down as well. Yep. Okay. I know what I want. Make sure. Excuse me. You guys know how my lectures go. Breakout, retest. You already know what I want on this name. Hopefully Caprice, you want or are seeing the same thing. 1 hour chart. That is our theme. All right. Breakout, nice run last week, but we're retesting some levels, okay? So how do we play this? For me, let me get a top zone scenario. Checking the candles here. And I want to get one here. right. Yeah, I think I like that there. All right, Caprice. Let's look at this 444, or excuse me, 446.41. Kind of take a peek at this. Okay. A lot of support there, potential support. Okay. Just looking at Friday's price action alone, an attempted sell through, we got a candle body close, but if you didn't take profit or you chased, a big buyback back over. Okay. So 44641, if you want to mark that, 450, 44485. And there's some levels in between, you guys, but just for speed of class, I'm just looking at some lower extremes here, upper and lower extremes. And so for me, how I trade this, absolutely, if we open around here on Monday, with caution, I don't trade the open, but any dips into here, calls. Any sells below, and retest, you take puts with caution, because look at this big buyback here from Friday. So if you take puts and you nail it, you absolutely sell at that double bottom from Friday, okay? Or any sells through, you can let the move happen, because maybe it's a too tight of a range for you. Let the sell happen under, retest, because now you're under what was or what could have been a double bottom. So now that should act as resistance for you. Take puts there, you sell your puts there, or if you're not a put buyer for whatever reason, you just got to wait for the next support touch. Okay, so it can be the double bottom try. Again, it's just hypothetical. We sell through 44485, or any push over, retest, take your calls. Okay, cautious again. Absolutely, I'm selling my calls at 450, because we see all this price action here. When we get around 450, what happens? Okay, a lot of sellers there. Okay, if this keeps, we say we get a lot of weakness in the market, take your puts, boom, sell, leave a runner, maybe you swing, sell through. Big support here, 44171. Okay, look at those candle body closes. Okay, there's no way I'm watching that move there, not taking puts, and now I want puts into there. Absolutely no. I want calls into here, calls that support, you guys. Okay, let me clear this. It's getting messy, but one last look at Microsoft, the 1 hour chart, you guys. Very, very tradable, very nice tradable setup. Okay, so any sells through this, we can see when we get below this, we can see the selling pressure that can ensue. Okay, look, the last price action. Any bounces over, we can see the moves we can make over. Okay, so very nice levels here on Microsoft. I'm glad you requested it, because that's like I said, it's a very nice chart to trade off of. Yep, Meta as well. AJ will get to Meta in 1 second. Zoom user, NVIDIA. Okay, NVIDIA's getting whacked too. Remember this? I know it's a thick line, because I know we've done this in the lecture, you guys. Remember that thick line we talked about, and what happens if it breaks that selling pressure we see? Look at that selling pressure under that line, you guys. 141 to 147.8 to 141 pocket. Look at that sell underneath there, selling pressure. Okay, that's why you chart your levels on larger time frames. Okay, and you may see a push up here, but you have to tell yourself that is a huge resistance. Do I want calls at resistance? Probably not. Yeah, you can catch a move here and hopefully secure profit, because if you catch that candle down, that's going to hurt. Okay, so now what is NVIDIA doing? The daily 9, this purple line, that's the 9 moving average. Okay, so if I go the daily, that purple line, see how it's rejecting every time the candle pushes now? Okay, push up, reject, push up, reject. So if you're seeing rejections, you're going, why the hell is it rejecting? Check the daily, you guys. Check your moving averages on the daily, because that can be some insight on why that's rejecting. Okay, NVIDIA, fairly easy chart. When I'm looking at this, for me, how I trade, if we open where we closed here, calls, if we hold this, calls into here, calls into what? Resistance, and you sell here. Okay, any gap up and double top-ish action or failed breakouts, or we set the hourly range. So we open here. For me, I open at 6:30, and 8 o'clock hits, 8:30 hits, we're breaking out. I'm leaning bearish rejections here at a resistance. I'm not taking puts just because randomly I'm taking puts at a resistance. Okay, and you ride your puts down. Any opens below this, you can ride puts with caution, but we see this big cluster here from Friday's action, all these candle body closes. Sell through that. Maybe you're in 5, you sell 3, you hold 2, you sell another one here. Again, it's all hypothetical. And I mean, it's not going to knife down, but you get my point. Sell down next resistance. Okay. Any sells into 130.74, I'm on bounce alert. Okay. Because we zoom out and we can see how far I got to zoom out here, maybe on the 4-hour chart. Yikes. Oh, got those freaking dark pool ghost candles, whatever you want to call it. So we get sells. Shit, that's ugly. Any sells in this 130.74, guys, be on bounce alert. Okay. Take your puts on any rejections into here. Zoom user. Yeah. So again, cheesy, I know, but it helps me visualize. When I see sells through there, sell pressure, selling pressure, or under it. Okay. I cannot swing long on NVIDIA until we get a reclaim of 135.54, or we're coming with some big support. I just can't swing in the middle of a zone pocket here. Okay. I can day trade the hell of this. Absolutely. Calls and puts all day long, but I take swings at big supports or big resistance levels, that are failing or whatever it is. But, we're kind of in between two big zones here because we're under this one, but we're over this one. It's a $5 range. A lot can happen in here. Okay. Meta. The big breakout. I like Meta this week for same thesis always, you guys. I want to see a back test of levels here. I think we got a little bit of a trend line here. I didn't draw it because I would wait for class. 1, 2 touches. Let's see if I extend this, if this makes sense. Yeah. Okay. And let's grab a couple recent support lines here. Just eyeing the chart real quick. Doesn't really hit this wick, but doesn't hit those candle bodies. We're just going to slap that there. Okay. We got a plan. AJ, if you're still in here, how I would trade this. Any back test of the trend line, any back test of the zone here. Definitely, grab some calls here. Bounces, play the bounce, bounces off this level, absolutely, because we can see candle body close, wick there, candle body not there, candle body right there. So forgot what name I was on. Sorry, Meta. Yeah, 617.63. Okay. Again, we can mark levels in here every candle body close, but just for speed of the class, 610.43. Okay. Any bounces and holds, absolutely take your calls off that zone. Okay, where do you sell? I don't know where my profit zones are. Absolutely do. You look left. Okay. You go to the 1-hour chart and you go, okay, where are the candle body closes at? That could be a profit zone. That could be a profit zone. That could be. Okay. Any sells under this? I'm bearish on a day trade and I'm bearish on swings because we broke support. We're under a moving average. Okay, that's 2 reasons. We broke a trend line. That's 3 reasons. So any sell under here for me, a couple weeks out, I'm swinging, or it's a safe, I'm using that air quotes to take puts into potentially this zone here and any break under. Okay, this has to hold this week if you want to be bullish on swings for me. Okay, but for now, if not, if we don't hit those, just day trade the zones. Very nice zones here to play off, like I said. One last look at the chart. If you want to take a screenshot or mark some levels, take a drink of some water here. Any bounce off that 617, big move. I mean, it can move 617 to 630, and we see kind of this top range zone here. We start getting into that. What can happen there? Okay. Sandman wants master. Freaking, I say that because of River. Damn it, I just said it. It's not master, but it looks like it. He's got me on that. All right. Everybody wants this. Everybody wants the hype train. How do we trade it? Actually, pretty nice chart. Got some lines down here from last time somebody wanted it. Let me scan, see what we're looking at. I'm on the 4-hour chart right now. Yep. Okay. I'm just gonna steal this line down here. Just gonna borrow this for a sec. It didn't work as well as I thought. Not as clean. Let's just grab this wick, see where it lines up. So I know I'm not grabbing this wick here, but if I do this, I'm not trying to make stuff up, but we got this wick here. We got candle body close, and we got 2 candle body closes there, and I like that. Probably don't have a nice pennant here, but what we do have is very nice top range resistance. Okay. That's our top for now. That's how I see it. Okay. Look at that candle body close there, over, under, rejection, big sell through there, push up, attempted breakout Thursday, failure. Friday never got back there. So we're curling up. Okay. There's reasons to be bullish and there's reasons to be cautiously bearish. But for now, I would lean bullish on this name, but you're running out of time if you miss the move. So again, if we open around here, because that's where we closed, absolutely catch a run up there, but don't hold blindly. We have that big rejection there Thursday. Okay. Take a look at the chart, you guys. Any sells under, and just in general, guys, this isn't just my trading, but if we open below where you closed, that is cautiously, or that is one checkbox to be bearish on whatever name it is. Yeah, there can be support below and you can trade the support, but if we're opening below where we closed, that is not a continuation on the day as of now. So that's why I always give you guys these options of how to trade this stuff. It's not because I'm just bearish on something. It's just giving you guys a trade plan and how I trade stuff. And so, let's see where we open. Any opens at this near this level here, this close, it can go either way. Okay. Opens over it, take your calls into that. Opens under it, start looking at some candle body closes where you'd start taking profit. Profit. Moving averages here, absolutely a profit zone. Trend line, profit zone. Not saying we'll get there in 1 or 2 days, but hypothetically, any breakouts, again, look left. There's not a lot of information up here, but it can definitely be traded both ways. I like where this is at. It can definitely, both scenarios can happen on this. Sorry, Cam, a little bit late. Yeah, a little bit head and shoulders action on Microsoft. Good eye. Trying to get caught up. I see your stuff, Norman. I'm gonna get through them. I want to get everybody for some requests in here, and I want to make sure we have time for stuff I want to go over too. A lot of people like the small port stuff, so I gotta give them some love as well. Che, good to have you in here. 3M. Larger time frame consolidation, definitely day tradable, tradable both ways. I'm seeing this down here, absolutely not perfect. We'll just leave it here. Let's just grab the wicks. Top zones, probably not gonna be very clean. For a pennant, no, I don't want to draw it there, but let's do a top range, something a little bit different. It's not a huge range up here, but when I say top range, it's a cluster of price action here. So this is, if I were to draw this red or whatever, this is what you treat as resistance or supply. So any pushes up, we can see continued sellers are parked there. 134 to 135. Breakouts are just not happening right now. Okay. If you miss that move, what you can do is you can catch it down here. Scanning the charts here for you. Looking for some, yeah, this makes sense here. So the top of this range starts at these candle body closes here. So we're coming to a nice spot here, Che. Got a little bit of demand, got a little bit of support pocket, whatever you want to call it, and we got a trend line. Okay. If you want to be on swings on this, I don't know what liquidity is like, but you want to see a trickle down and you want to catch on some support here. For me, or if you grab, a partial position with time, you can safely, depending on how you trade, a starter position. And for me, I can't cut its support, until it breaks this. Any breaks under, absolutely. But if we kind of trickle down here, we start curling like this and bouncing, 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 absolutely. Take your shots, some calls, but with caution, because these moving averages are going to start creeping up and they're going to be resistance anytime you push up as well. Okay, so kind of a tricky chart, to just dive in if we're going to dive in tomorrow, but it can go both ways. And so any sells or rejections under that probably 131. And I don't think breakouts are ready or any weakness in the market. I just think it's going to get dragged down even more. Okay. January calls. Yeah. Just kind of it's a little bit of a tricky spot. We can talk more in DMs, I know, because we talk a lot, but if we hold that 130, some daily closes, not like a 5-minute close where my cursor's sitting at 130, breakout watch, but any rejections, it seems like it's just not ready. We just need to be patient for it. All right, just scan the chart here. All right, one small port one. I think I'm caught up on one request. Let's see, or single request. And then I see if you're still in here, cornbread C's. One of the regulars, good to have you in here. We'll get to MU. Let me look. Let's look at banks, you guys. I know maybe you guys like to trade these names, maybe not, but man, these things pay, and it's a very tradable chart. I want to look at Bank of America and Citibank really quick. If you guys need to add some variety to your life, to your watch list, trade these names. These little guys pay 20, 30, 40, 50% every single day, unless they're ranging. Contracts are well under $1, or $100, what I mean to say, 1.00. Definitely a chart to watch, you guys. If you guys don't have this chart, I know I talked last year. This is our trend line that broke last week from the lecture. 47 gave way, so 47 is now a huge support. Again, I'm on BAC, Bank of America. I'm watching here. I should probably set some alerts. Any retest into the zone here, I want to see that reaction there, because bounce support. Do we get a triple bottom on the day? I don't know. Let's see. But banks, we also have an FOMC meeting this week, so we're gonna get some reaction for sure. Let's see if they do a rate cut or they hold where they do, but this is a name to watch, you guys. I'm on the 4-hour chart. Just want to go over it kind of quickly, you guys. I like to trade these names. I trade these almost every single day. And Citibank, the ticker is literally C. Okay, similar setup. Look at that big line, that thick line that we're attempting to sell through. Okay, and he sells through that. For me, that can be a bearish trigger on some swings. Okay, just based on the chart, maybe the sector might be hot or getting hot, but the way I'm looking at the chart, we're breaking support, we're breaking moving average. We've got a moving average down here. If we break this 7120, I think this cluster down here at 70, 75 comes quick. Again, these are cheapies. These are, I say, slower mover. They move fast. They put in good profits during the day, but they're not going to move $10 a day, $8 a day, like, your NVIDIAs or your Teslas, so small port people, I trade this every single day. I think this is a really good setup. I steal this trend line here. Another reasons to continue being bearish if it breaks, rejection, 3 or 4 days in a row. Okay. Maybe I take puts, be bearish, and I get smoked, get stopped out. But for me, if we're breaking a big support there, I'm not bullish, on swings. I need to get some touches down here. Maybe we get it, maybe we don't. Any break over, and that is a trend line break. 1K profit targets are so tight because these don't move a lot, brother. I would rather have, if you guys watch my watch list, I would rather say, intraday calls here. And I check the 1-hour chart, brother, and I'm just looking for candle body closes. And you'll see often on my watch list, like it blows through price target 3. Like price target 3 might be here for me, but that's just how I chart, you guys. Sorry, I'm on the 4-hour chart. Let me go to 30-minute. So just for like, if you ever look at my watch list, so if I alert, let's just say market's open, I alert some calls here at support, and I'm like, hey, I'm getting 72 calls. I'm literally looking at a candle body close, and that's how I trade. And I go, okay, candle body close there, PT1. This cluster here, look at close, 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 profit target 2, price target 2. Okay, I don't get into calls here and I don't go, okay, profit zone is 1 here, because people read, you know, not just me, but they're very descriptive, or they hold on to every word that we say. And if I alert calls here and I say PT1 is at 72.50, and you know, in my head, my portfolio, I can be trimming here and here, but because I put PT1 72.50, someone's going to hold and not trim here. We're going to come back down and be like, oh, are you still holding? And now I'm 20% red. It's like, no, trim, but you said PT1 is up here. It's like people will wait and hold for that. You know, this could give us 40%, but because I said this up here, you know, that's kind of why, Norman. So no, I mean, if I got runners, man, and I hit PT1, 2, and 3, yeah, I'm holding runners up here. But I don't know whether the stock is going to range or break out or gap up. Like, I don't know what it's going to do at the open. So I'm just literally, I'm marking levels how I play this. So puts, we come down in here, I'm taking profit here, here, and here. And that's just how I trade. Those price target zones, you guys, on my watch list, that's just to help you guys. It's literally, I'm doing all the work for you. I'm charting it out every single day for you guys. So like, nobody can complain. Charting's hard. I don't know how to get into the trade, this or that. It's like, I'm giving you a watch list of 3 to 5 things every single day. And I'm giving you the levels every single day. Like, there's no excuses that you can't chart out and go, okay, he marked this level here. You know, why did he mark this? Does it make sense? Oh, he marked it here because look at, this was support, now it's resistance. Now it's resistance. Absolutely, we're gonna sell our calls there. Okay, I'm doing the work for you guys on the watch list. Good question, Orvin. Oh, MU. Corn Bev, you're still in here. Ooh. After hours action, if that holds. Interesting. Let's zoom out just a little bit. Scanning the charts here, kind of seeing where we're at. All right, I can work with this. That is our floor. That is our support for now. Why? Oops. Why is that not in drawing mode? Man, my stomach is growling. I should have freaking ate dinner. Definitely a spot there. Definitely these wicks after pre-market. Nice chart, man. We got some stuff to work with here. Yeah. Michael, I think that's your name. Yeah, when I say over and under on my levels, you guys, I'm not logged in Discord. Let me see, so I still have that screenshot. Yeah, over and under, you guys. So sorry, bit of a detour from MU. So let's just go to Friday's price action. Let's see, hard sell it open. Let's go to Roku, you guys. 2 entries around, and then we'll get back to MU. I'm sorry, but a little bit of a detour here. I don't know if I can leave this up. Hold on, Roku. So I just want to answer their question in the chat. Okay. So when I give you guys levels, you guys, I have no idea if it's gonna just, you know, shoot up out of the gate or what's gonna happen. You know, I can't predict that. I'm just giving some levels based off what I'm seeing. And so Roku, I'm trying to look at the notes here as we go over this. Two entries on puts around 82.34. Okay, let's mark that level. Again, sorry, this is a detour on normal lecture, but the question was asked, so I want to, you know, they're curious about it. Okay, so my notes are Roku, bullish over 82.67, bearish under 82.34. To answer the question more clearly, I can't predict, like I said, if it's going to shoot out the open or not. So to me, I like to wait at least 15 to 30 minutes after the open. So I'm on a 15-minute chart here. If we just look at Roku's price action from Friday, we pushed up at the open, 15-minute candle, you know, closed over a little bit. But if we just check this price action here, let's ignore the breakdown. To me, it's just a little bit of indecision, okay? Or maybe before this candle here. A little bit of indecision, not a lot to go off of. This is kind of a chop, a little bit of a range day on Roku. And so for me, if you see a level, you mark a level, he says, okay, bearish under 82.34. So we're not getting a breakout. We get a breakout candle there. Maybe, you know, you pushed and tried to take some calls, but really my note was 82.67. So we're 82.58 right here on this candle body close. So still not my bullish trigger. Okay, what do? We got a 15-minute candle close under. And now how I would play this, or how I would have alerted this, obviously it's in hindsight. I see the candle through my level. I see a breakdown. Let's see if it shows us on the 5-minute. Okay, so how I would alert this, how I usually alert stuff, you see my tab. You know, this was our trigger level, breakdown, retest, entry. So we would have seen some red, but guess what? Back to break even, payday, payday, payday. Hypothetically, obviously, it's in hindsight, but that's how I trade that. So my notes were break under 82.34. PT1 is 81.85, 81.28. So 81.85 is down here. 81.28 is this bottom range down here. So we never made the PT3, but hopefully that answers your question. Hopefully you're still in the chat. But basically, I'm not on the 1 minute. I'm not on the 5-minute. I want to see some larger time frame candle closes there for my watch list, per his question in the chat. So like I said, it's hard. Sometimes stuff shoots out the open and you just have to say, okay, breakout, let's retest this and moving averages or whatever we want to do. But it's just hard to predict, you guys. I can't predict the market. If I did, we'd be full port and everything. We'd be rich in a week, but that's just not how it works. All right, back to MU. I know we got it charted, so now we can get a game plan off it. Let's go on the 30. That looks like some news if that candle holds. I don't know what that was unless that was earnings. Let's see here. So how I would trade MU, any retests in this zone here, and a push up, any sells through, I'm bearish on the day, not saying bearish long term, but I would just, any sells through support. If you're not a put buyer, you got to watch this move down and you take your call bounce there, try, or call bounce there. If you are a put buyer, take your puts, say you're in 10, you sell 8, you sell the rest there. And now you say, okay, now we're chopping, now we're holding this level here. I should be looking to be a little bit bullish, even though it's a down red day. Okay. Any breakouts over, you absolutely sell calls this top range. If this gap holds, we're probably gonna open here, you catch the push up, or if we open even more, any breakout and retest this level here, this 106 zone level here, you take calls with caution because you expect that to hold, but any sells under, you can take some puts. Okay, very nice chart, like that setup. All right. Errol, E-R-R-O-L, hopefully I'm saying your name. Everybody wants to catch a move on this name. I don't know if anybody's caught it yet, but it's very, well, it was news driven, but let's see what we got here. Never trade the chart, so I can look at this with no bias. Well, obviously we had news on it, but you know, just looking here, see what makes sense. Okay. So I'm on the 4-hour chart, going to grab some quick levels just because class is running long like usual. That wick there bounce, do you think that matters? Absolutely. Look at that cluster of support there. Okay. Top range for now. Definitely this spot. Yep. And a little bit of a mid-range price action here. One more. Okay. So top range, bottom range, why did I draw that? Okay. I'm just going to like hyper extend that so we can kind of see. Big wick right there, bounce, 5, 10, 28, okay? Lines up with all this price action here, absolutely. Sell down, bounce up, reject, 527.86. It's a rough, quick level, but it also makes sense. It lines up with this level here, okay? Never delete lines on your chart, so you guys. They always come back into play. All right, let's build a game plan off this. Errol, are you looking for shares, calls, puts? What do you think on this? So I can kind of give you what I would do, when I would do it, how I would do it. Let me know in the chat. Yeah, Norman, I see your request. That'll be the last one though. Calls. All right. So any opens and holds over probably 522, a round number. Get some drawings for you here. So any opens over this, I'm bullish cautiously. Why am I bullish? Because I'm looking at these buybacks here on these 30-minute candles. So when you see wicks like this, you guys, that is, you know, the candle started here. Sellers tried to sell under. They sold for however many minutes, and they bought it all the way back up to here. Okay, so let me clear this and just show you guys again. So this is a 30-minute chart, you guys. When you see, damn it, when you see candle bodies like that, like, you know, we have candle body lectures in here. Like this should tell you something. Like when you see that, that says, whoa, that's a big buyback there. Okay, sellers tried to sell through that, and that's a big buyback up. And those candles are closing there, and that candle closed there. Okay, so getting to my point, any opens over, cautiously you can take some calls here at 522. Okay, make it realistic. If you can't afford this, you probably shouldn't be playing it. So if we're at 522, you shouldn't be trading like a 550 call. That doesn't make sense, because you can get the move here, and everybody who has money for a 524 or 526 call is making money, and you're going, well, shit, I'm only up like 6% because you bought a 550 call. Okay, make sure the call makes sense, because these are probably pricey. Okay, any opens under here, you can take puts, but again, what did I just say? Look where those wicks closed. That's a big bounce spot, whether you want it to be or not. And it lines up with these candle body closes here. So you take puts, be cautious into that zone there and look left, or just let the sellers take their turn, sells through, bounce up. You don't know how far it's going to bounce. You know, it could be like this. Take your puts with caution there, because support is now resistance. You're using this as resistance, and you take them down into here. So can go either way, or any gap up over, take it. But yeah, any gap or open around the zone here, it'll play really nice for you. So again, they're kind of quick levels: 527.86, 522, 516.76. I like that there, and then 510. And if you want like day trade levels, even more precise, go the 5 or 15 minute, and you can catch some levels there, some, you know, tighter price action spots. But I only take trades off of big inflection points up here, you know, here. I don't like to trade in the middle of ranges, you know, because I like to know, you know, if I'm right or wrong. I want to know really quick. Okay, CELH will be the last one, you guys, and I'll do a quick recap of SPY and QQQ. But CELH, I think we've traded this one before. A little bit of sell. Yep. All right. So, like where this one's at. A couple quick lines. I like that. Okay. I am more bullish than bearish for sure, but doesn't mean we can't turn bearish on this. But so that was the 4-hour chart, you guys. Zoom in here. The reason I am, as of now, bullish, we just got a few more things to be bullish on than bearish, and so that is my reasoning. We have a trend line here. Hopefully this lines up nice because I'm talking about it. Beautiful. Okay, don't ignore trend lines, you guys. This is a support. It is just a diagonal version. This is support. This is just horizontal. Okay, moving averages are supports. They just move with you, hence the name moving averages. Okay, so bouncing the trend line multiple days, reason to be number one. we're above 2 moving averages, reason number 2, and we're above a key support, 3132-ish, reason 3 or 4, lost track. So I cannot be bearish on this name until we break some levels here. So for me, any retests on trend lines, absolutely take calls. Any opens over where we closed, so we closed here. Any opens over, that is generally a bullish sign. Take your push, trim. Don't know what percent that would be, but Thursday's price action there. Friday for sure, you should be trimming there. Okay. Any sells under, any hard market weakness, take some puts with caution into trend line. Support, support. Cautious on bounces. Take your call shot there or call shot there. Okay. Recap, you guys, on SPY. Those of you taking notes, those of you might be late. 607. That's kind of red, sort of. That is our resistance this week until it's not. Okay. It's a long ways away, but we make that move not every day, but we can make that move. Meaning like we can put in a $6-7 move. Okay. We've done it. We just did it on Friday. Okay. I'm cautiously bullish on a bounce as long as this level holds. And I'll probably have notes on it in my watch list tomorrow, depending on where we open. I like to see opens where we closes. I don't like to see gap ups up here because it makes it trickier, but this shaded area, any opens over it, and I'm not bearish. Okay. Any zones, any opens in here, scalp all day. Meaning I don't have a bullish or bearish sentiment because we could range the whole day in there hypothetically. Okay. Any sells under, selling pressure is going to incur. Okay. Because, why is there going to be selling pressure? Okay. We sold through support. We sold through Friday's close. Okay. And I would expect to see some price action like this, some selling pressure like this. Okay. But any opens over, any pushes over, again, look left. Daily 9, that can be a target zone. Candle body closes, target zone. Up here at 607, absolutely be fully out. Like you catch this, we have a trend day all the way up here. There's no way I'm not selling there. No way. Okay. So SPY, let's see, we got, again, we got FOMC. Pay attention to the news chart. It's probably Wednesday or Thursday. And we got some other data this week, but that's gonna move the market. So we could very well, I doubt we will range in this tiny zone all week, but we can very, very well range in here all week until FOMC and then Powell comes and speaks. And so when Powell speaks, we're gonna get the move. I have no bias. Obviously, a nice dip would be nice for some shares on some stuff, but any break over 607 and we're going to fly, not fly too far because we got some all-time highs up here. And he sells through that 604. And I think we see, 600 this week for sure. But let's keep track, you guys. We'll mark some levels. We'll come back to this. I love doing these lectures every week because we can come back and see, how these levels played out. With that, you guys, I appreciate all 18 of you for sticking around. Great questions, great requests, you guys. Let's have a great week, you guys. Let's finish strong. But with that, I'm going to end the chat, you guys. Have a good night, and I'll see you guys tomorrow.